So why this huge requirement for PostgreSQL DBA? So what versions available? Okay, so what are the features available? We seen yesterday. Okay, today this is the regular. Okay, so course content. So okay, when we complete the any specific topic, we'll mark as a complete. Every day I am opening this course content Excel sheet. I will mark as what are the topics we completed. We okay mark as complete. So this is the regular course content which I posted in my website also. Okay, Blogspot. So let's see. Okay. So okay, okay, the first topic is installation types. So what are the installation types in Postgres? How many methods are there? Okay, so we'll discuss about these things today. So let's see. So there are 4 types of installation in Postgres. If you go any project, okay, there are 4 installation methods available in Postgres. One is GUI method, graphical user interface. Second is, okay, so source code method, M method, RPM method. The fourth one is GUI method. So if anyone asks you to install Postgres on Windows platform, this is the method. There is no alternate. We have to choose GUI method only, graphical user interface. So if you want to install Postgres on Linux platform, so we have to choose any one of these method. Out of these 3, we have to choose any one of the method, either source code method, RM method, or RPM installation. We will discuss each and every method in detail. Okay, so there are 4 types of installation available in Postgres. 4 ways you can install Postgres. If it is Windows platform, there is a one method available, that is GUI. GUI means it's a graphical user interface. If it is a Linux platform, we have 3 methods available. Either any one of the method we have to choose and install Postgres on Linux platform. Okay, so let's see how to install Postgres in Windows platform. Is there any prerequisites to install Postgres on Windows platform? We'll discuss. So first, okay, on Windows platform, if you want to install Postgres on Windows platform, there is no prerequisite. First part, there is no prerequisites required to install Postgres Windows platform. If it is Linux platform, we have prerequisites are there. We have to verify prerequisites before proceeding installation on any Linux platform. As of now, today, we'll discuss how to install Postgres on Windows platform. Once we complete this method, then we can go one by one. We can go. So when we go with a Linux platform, we'll see what are the prerequisites. So what is the purpose of prerequisites? How to verify if any prerequisites are missing? To whom we have to contact? So let's discuss. Okay, when we are installing Postgres on Linux platform, that time we'll discuss in deeply all the prerequisites which are required to install Postgres Linux platform. Today we are going to install Postgres Windows platform. For Windows OS, there is no prerequisites. This method we can say GUI method, graphical user interface. Okay, so there is no prerequisite. First point, there is no prerequisites on Windows platform. Okay. Second, need to download Postgres DB software. We have to download Postgres software to install Postgres on Windows platform. As of now, I decided to install Postgres Windows platform. Where we can download this Postgres database software? What is the website? postgresql.org. This is the website where we can download community version of PostgreSQL, open source PostgreSQL. Both are same. Either community version or open source, both are same. So from this website, we can download the software. We can get the documentation. We can get the latest release information, each and every release information. What are the features added? Everything we can get it from this website. So let's go and download the software. Let's see. Okay, let me postgresql.org. Open this website. You can see. So this is the website. If you want to know anything information about open source database, you have to visit this website. So here I want to download Postgres for Windows platform, not Linux, not Mac OS. As of now, today I decided to install Postgres Windows platform. Click on Windows. You can see we selected operating system Windows because I am going to install Postgres my Windows platform. Then click on download the installer. You can say which version you want to install. Let's start with 12. Okay, tomorrow there is a 4 methods, right? Installation methods. Okay, so first method will go with 12, next method 13, next method 14. Like this will cover all the installation types. So let's select 12 version. You can see. So 12 version 12.17. So what is the Windows operating system architecture? It's a 64-bit. Click on this one. So that the software will be started to download for Windows platform only. You can say it's progressing. It's downloading. Let's wait. So once download the software, how to install? Once this part we completed, next install the software. Install software. So once download the software, you have to just double click on the software setup. There is a setup file for Windows. Everything is setup file is there. After downloading, you have to double click on the setup file. You have to double click on the setup file. You have to click on next. It is going to install. So for installing the software, what we required? We required a default installation directory. We required default installation directory, default data directory. We have to choose while installation. We have to choose where you want to install the software. By default, system is considering this is the default installation location. This is the data directory. What is the purpose of this installation location? Binaries, Postgres binaries will be installed on this location. Okay. Here, what is the purpose of data directory? To store data files and configuration files inside this directory. Yes. What is the purpose of data directory? Every database, some data files are there to store the data, some configuration files are there. Both the data files and the configuration files will be located inside a data directory. This is the default data directory. This is the default Postgres home location where the software will be installed inside this location. These two locations are mandatory to install Postgres. Even though if you are not providing, the default location system is taking by default. If you go with the default locations, yes, these are the default locations only. If you don't want to go with the default locations, yes, you have to create a location first. Then you can choose your installation location where you want to install Postgres software, where you want to create a data directory. You have to select respect to your own installation directory, your own data directory. So if you install Postgres, what is the default port number? 5432. It's a default, it takes default port number. If you don't want to go with the default port number, you have to give the port number. What port you want to maintain? 543334, whatever. If you want to go with the default, yes, it's fine. It takes a default port number. Click on next. That's it. What is the default database super user? Postgres. So you have to provide the password for this Postgres user. Super user. Postgres is the super user. In Oracle, what is the super user? Sys. Here, it's equivalent to sys user. Postgres is the super user in Postgres database. So let's see. Okay, let's see the software will be downloaded. You can say, let me go to downloads folder. This is the downloads folder. Yes, the software will be downloaded. PostgreSQL 12.17, Windows 64. This software will be compatible for 64-bit. Yes, just double click on this software. This is the setup file. After downloading, just double click on this file. It gives the pop-up window. There we have to select the installation location, data directory location, port number, everything. We have to select and click on next. Let's wait. Can see. So welcome to the PostgreSQL setup wizard. Click on next. So please specify the directory where PostgreSQL will be installed. This is the default installation location system takes. If you don't want to go with the default location, yes, click on browse option. You can select your option, your own installation directory. Right now I am go with this default location only. Click on next. You can see what are the components you want to install. Server, PostgreSQL server, yes, I need server component. I need a pgadmin for. What is the purpose of pgadmin for? After installation of Postgres database, if you want to connect the database via GUI mode, we need a pgadmin tool. It's equivalent to SQL developer in Oracle. So I need to install pgadmin as well. Stack builder, there is no use of stack builder. Just you can uncheck. What are the check mark over there? Those components only going to install. Command line tools. What is the purpose of command line tools? If you want to connect the database via command line mode, you need command line tools. You need pgadmin to connect the database via GUI mode. You need server installation. So I need to keep tick mark for these three components so that these three components going to install. Click on next. So this is the data directory. This is the default data directory. If you don't want to go with the data directory default one, you can select the browse option. You can give your own data directory. Next, click on next. So please provide a password for the database super user. What is the super user? Postgres. So what password you can give any password, but you have to remember this one. I given password Oracle. Postgres user password Oracle. So what is the port number? Default port number. This is the default one. If you don't want to go with the port number, default one, you can give your own port number 3334, whatever. So now I am installing with the default port number only. So click on next. You can see once you verified installation directory where you are going to install, what path you selected, what is the data directory, which one you given, what is the port number, what is the super user. Once verified all the things, click on next. It's going to installing. Can say it's going to install in the creating the cluster. Once created a cluster, inside the cluster, it's created a 3 default databases. Everything it's done. Once installing the software, it's creating the cluster. It started the services also. These are all the things done at a time in Windows platform. You can say it's installing software. Next, it's a creating cluster. Will tell you what is the cluster. It's creating cluster. Creating cluster means created 3 default databases. So what are the default databases? Postgres, template 1, template 0. These 3 default database created when you install Postgres any platform. That could be Linux, that could be Windows. Next, it starting cluster services. Started cluster services. So once the cluster services started, then we can connect the database. How to connect the database? One is command line mode. These are the methods to connect the database. Command line mode PSQL, GI mode pgadmin. We already selected to install pgadmin. Command line tools also we selected to install command line tools. So this is how we are installing Postgres on Windows platform. For anywhere, these 3 default database created. The default user is same. Default port is same. Yeah, go ahead. Any queries? Any queries, anyone? Don't worry, I will ask. Okay.
No,
Yeah, go ahead. As of now, any queries? We'll tell you, we'll clarify what is the cluster. Okay, what is the meaning of cluster in terms of Oracle and Postgres? We'll tell you. Don't worry.
Yeah, after installation, how many services are created? Is there
How
any
many?
services? Like, is there any component? You said like 4 components we have. Okay.
4 components. For all the components, service is one service only. That is Postgres services only. One service.
Okay.
Those components means command line tool. We selected a command line tool. Yes or no? We selected PG admin tool. We selected server installation. So server installation, if you want to build the database server, we need server installation. We have to select this one, mandatory. PG admin is the optional. If you want to connect the database via GI tool, we require PG admin tool. Means it's equivalent to SQL developer in Oracle. Without PG admin also, I can go and install. Yes or no? Without SQL developer, we can install Oracle database. We can connect via command line mode. Here also, you can connect command line mode if you don't install PG admin. Command line tools. What are the command line tools? Command line tools means how to connect the database, Postgres database in command line mode. PSQL. This is the utility equivalent to SQL plus in Oracle. In Oracle, how to connect the database command line mode? SQL plus. Here, what is the utility? PSQL is the utility which we can use to connect the database in command line mode. Clear?
Yeah, clear. And one more thing, like, is there any named instance, like kind of, if I want to install one more SQL server using with same default port or customized, customized location. So do I need to change anything?
Yeah, so that is possible in Linux. Mostly Postgres will be running on Linux platform. So whatever you are asking, that will be possible in Linux platform. That will be covered during the training course content. We can create multiple clusters with a different port number in the same server. We can create clusters with the same port number, same server, but we cannot start the cluster services, more than one cluster services with the same port number. All the topics will cover during the course content.
In Windows, there is no.
There is no option to create multiple clusters because in live also there is no Postgres running on the Windows platform. If any chances, okay, for that we are going to cover Windows installation also.
Okay, so you mean while after installation there is there are 3 databases were created default. Is that system databases or temporary databases?
Yeah, we'll tell you, don't worry. Okay, so those are the 3 default databases. Okay, out of these 3, the 2 are the template databases. One is the default database, Postgres. We'll tell you in the database management topic. Okay, so once we'll clear all the installation, once we finish all the installation types, then there is a topic database management. There will tell you clearly what is the each and every database, what is the purpose of Postgres, what is the purpose of template, what is the purpose of template 0, why they given 3 databases, will tell you there in the database management topic. As of now, when we install Postgres, any platform, it's created a default 3 databases. What are the 3 database names? One is Postgres, other one is template 0, other one is template 1. These 3 database created, we can say these 3, it's created inside one cluster. Each cluster, it's having minimum default 3 database got created. If you create another cluster, for that cluster also it's created 3 default databases. If you want to create your own database, you can go and create it. It's not a problem. By default, 3 database created each and every cluster.
Okay.
Clear? Any queries?
And last question.
Good.
If during installation, if I get some issues, where do I need to check? Is there any log file or default log file created?
Yes. In the installation location, same log file will be created.
Same installation location.
Yeah, yes.
Yeah. In success and errors.
Yeah, yes. In the Windows, here only it will give the success or failure. If it is failure, it gives the log location also. If it is success, it gives the prompt successfully completed Postgres installation like this. I will show you, don't worry. It gives the prompt.
Thank you.
Now it's a 75%. Now you can say completed PostgreSQL setup wizard. Setup has finished installing PostgreSQL on your computer. There is no errors. Click on finish. We completed Postgres installation Windows platform. Means when we click on next after selecting installation directory, data directory, what it will do? First it will installing the binaries. Where it will install the binaries? This is the location. We selected default one. After that, it created a cluster. Once created a cluster, there is some default data files and configuration files will be created inside this location, inside data directory. Once created a cluster, backend 3 database got created, DB level. Once created a cluster, it start the cluster. Once started the cluster services, we can say DB is up and running. Once the cluster is up and running, whatever the database inside the cluster, all the database is up and running. We can connect any database which is inside the cluster. Now we can connect the database. How to connect the database? There is a two methods. Any database, these are the two methods to connect the database. One is command line mode. Second one is GUI mode. Command line mode PSQL. Okay, these are the two methods to connect the database. Before connecting the database, we have to verify DB installation process. Where the binaries installed, what are the binaries are there? What are the libraries are there? What are the where the data directory is created? Inside the data directory, what type of files are created? What is the configuration files? What are the data files? We'll see, just will verify the installation process. We'll discuss each and every file. What is the purpose of file? There is a separate topic, explanation of data directory. There we'll discuss each and every file. What is the purpose? So let me verify installation process. What is the installation default data directory? Go to the C drive, program files, PostgreSQL folder. It's created a PostgreSQL folder inside version number. Which version we installed? 12. So this is the Postgres home location, software location. The software binaries will be installed inside this location. Let's say there is a bin folder inside home location. This is my Postgres home location. Inside home location, there is a bin folder is there. There could be lib folder is there. These are the mandatory folders. Inside bin folder, what could be there? Binaries installed, binaries, utilities, executable files. In Oracle, what are the binaries? SQL plus, EXPDB, IMPDB. These are the binaries, executable files, utilities in case of Oracle. In Postgres, what are the utilities? What are the binaries? All the binaries installed inside bin directory by default. So what are the binaries? PSQL. PSQL is the one of the binary file, one of the executable file, one of the utility. What is the purpose of PSQL? Let's see sample some few utilities. PSQL, pgdump, initdb. Okay, PSQL is this is one of the utility. All the binaries utilities will be located inside bin directory. So to connect DB using command line mode. If you want to connect the database via command line mode, you have to use PSQL utility. These all utilities. Okay, there are 20 plus utilities are there. As of now, we'll discuss just 2-3. PSQL is the utility to connect the database. You can use PSQL. initdb. In case of Linux, if you want to create a cluster, we have to use initdb utility. In Windows, it's automatically created a cluster. There is no use of initdb. In case of Linux, if you want to create a cluster, we have to use initdb. Okay. pgdump. If you want to take the database backup, we have to use pgdump. Let's go and verify PSQL. Where is the PSQL? You can see here somewhere is PSQL. You can see this is the utility which we can use to connect the database via command line mode. This utility where it will be located inside bin directory. Somewhere pg dump is there to take the database backup. You can say pg restore. If you want to restore the database, pg underscore restore we can use. Pg underscore dump to take the database backup. Okay, so like this, these are the utilities initdb to create a cluster. Like this, these all are utilities binaries. Next, lib folder. All the libraries will be installed inside a lib folder. Don't touch lib folder. If you delete something, database won't function properly. So this is for just to verify where the, so if you see bin location, lib folder somewhere, that location you can say Postgres home location. Means inside this Postgres software will be installed. Now, data directory. So what is the data directory? Where it is, you can see, this is my data directory. Inside data directory, what are the configuration files? PostgreSQL.config file. You can say this is the main parameter file. It's equivalent to P file or SP file in Oracle. So what is the parameter file in Postgres? This is the parameter file. PostgreSQL.config file. Apart from this, there is some other configuration files. We'll discuss in depth after all the installation finished. Then there is a data directory explanation. Each and every folder will explain it. What is the purpose of base? Inside base, all the database folders, data files will be located inside base folder. Like this, there is a different each and every folder file. This is some purpose is there. We'll discuss in detail. Just today, we have to verify installation location where Postgres installed, what is the data directory, where the data files are there, where the configuration files are there. Once verified these all the things, now you can connect the database. How to connect the database? Just a PSQL. You can click on search, in search, click on PSQL. You can see SQL shell. Click on PSQL. So what is the server? It's a local host. Same. So which database you want to connect? Out of three, it's choose Postgres is the default database. If you don't want to connect to Postgres, you have to type DB name, which DB you want to connect. I want to connect the same database. Click on enter. What is the port number? Same port we used. So no need to enter again 5432. Which user you want to establish the connection to Postgres database? Same user. User also same. DB also same. What is the password Postgres? Oracle. You have to give the right password. You can say this is how we are now connected Postgres database. This is the DB name. This is the database prompt in Postgres. /L. If you want to see the list of databases, 3 databases. You can say Postgres 1 database, template 0, template 1. If you create any cluster, inside the cluster, there could be default 3 database got created. If you want to create your own database, yes, you can go and create. Create. How to create? Create database. Database name HRMS. Yes, it's created HRMS database. Now, how many databases are there? 4 databases. Like this, you can create your own database. How to exit? Yes. /Q, exit from terminal. So in Windows, how to start and stop services? There is a services.msc. You can see in Linux, different, Windows is different. You can see, you can search with P, PostgreSQL. Somewhere PostgreSQL services are there. You can say services status is running. If the services are running, then only you can connect the database. Any method via command line or PC admin. If the services are not running, we cannot establish the connection to any database which is running inside the cluster. Let me stop it. Now I am stopping PostgreSQL services under status. It's not displaying running. Means currently the services are stopped. Services are not running. PostgreSQL 12. Let me go and try to connect PSQL. Click on this one. Shell. Enter. Same database. Same port number. Yes. Same user. Give the, you can say it's not giving password prompt. It throws the error. PSK error could not connect to server. Connection refused. Is the server running on the same port, same local host? If the port, okay, host name, everything is same. Maybe services are not running. We have to verify services. Where we are verify in Windows? Here. Services not running. You can start it. Now we are starting the services. Now it's running. This is how we are start services in Windows platform for PostgreSQL. Let me try to PSQL. Now you can see. Now I want to connect a HRMS database. You have to type your DB name, which database you want to connect. So same port, yes. Which user? As of now, the default user only. So click on enter. What is the password? Oracle. Yes, now I connected directly HRMS database. This is the HRMS database prompt. /L, list of the databases. Any queries as of now?
So how do we shut down particular database? No way.
There is no specific stop and start database services. Like this is one instance. One instance means one cluster. You can stop and start a cluster level. There is no option to stop and start a specific database level. Clear? If you stop the end cluster, all the database will be down. We cannot establish to any database which is running inside the cluster. Yes, good.
Yeah, so in real time, one cluster and one application database.
Mostly one cluster, inside mostly one database. That is depends on the criticality. It's a non-critical, they can keep 3-4 database also. If it is a critical, they can keep inside one cluster, one server, one cluster, inside one cluster, one DB is there. Yes, based on the requirement. There is non-critical databases. You can keep 3 database, DAO test data, both DAO and test database, you can keep one cluster, one server. Yes, that's fine. That's may possible. Depends on the requirement, depends on the criticality of applications. Yeah.
So in generic, we don't have a name for a cluster.
No, there is no name.
Okay.
Any queries?
So yeah, so like in Oracle, if we have multiple schemas, we can lock any of the schemas, right? Just to prevent accessing the schema. Similarly, we don't have any option, right, in Postgres to
Like
lock
schemas or
in
database level you are
the
asking?
database.
Yeah, here database level we can lock. We'll tell you in the database prompt.
Okay.
If you
Okay.
lock the database, so no one established to that database. No one
Oh,
established the connection to that database. Yes.
oh,
Option
okay.
is
Got
there,
it.
but there is no stop and start specific DB service.
Okay. Yeah, got it.
Yeah. Any
Thanks.
queries from anyone? I hope it's clear, right? As of now. Okay.
There is no option for start and stop, but we can keep database offline, right?
Yeah, yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we'll cover that database management part.
Okay.
Okay. So that means we can log the database. Even though if someone is trying to connect the database, it's saying if the so-and-so database does not accept any connections. That's it. Clear? Let's see. So /C, I want to switch one database to other database. So /C Postgres target DB name. Now I connected Postgres database. I switched from one DB to other database /C. It's a shortcut command, meta command. These all are, we can say, meta commands, shortcut commands. When you see /C template 0, I want to connect to template 0 database. You can say like this. Template 0 not currently accepting connections. By default, this database does not accept any connections. Why? We'll tell you. We'll discuss in the database part. So like this, if you log the database, even though someone is trying to connect the database, it throws the error like this. Clear? Yeah. Okay. So let me go on to connect database via pgadmin. As of now, we know how to connect the database command line mode. We'll see how to connect the database via GUI mode. So if you want to connect the database GUI mode, we require pgadmin tool. It's like a SQL developer. Is equivalent to SQL developer. Okay. So in SQL developer to connect to configure any database in SQL developer, what we required? Host name we required. Next, DB name we required. port number we required, username required, password required. If you know these all the details, we can configure the database connection inside the SQL developer, inside the PG admin, anywhere I can configure. I need these details. So as of now, we install Postgres on Windows platform. So for Windows, what is the host name? It's a local host only. What is the DB name? Which database you want to configure? Suppose Postgres. This database I want to configure inside PG admin. If I configure one time, I can connect any time, n number of times via PG admin tool. What is the port number? 5432. What is the username? Same default user. What is the password? It's a Oracle. Now I have all the details. Let's go on the configure the connection inside the PG admin. Configure connection inside PG admin. Then connect the DB via PG admin tool. These are the steps. Let's open the PG admin tool. You can say click on PG admin 4. Let's open it. Okay, you can say okay. Let me existing remove servers. So some terminology is different. Don't confuse. If you background Oracle, SQL developer, there is a connections. We have to configure the connection. People are okay. There also it displayed configure the connections. Here servers instead of connections, they keep name servers. We have to configure the servers. Configure the server means it's not like a server. It's a connection only. So let me open the right click on the register server. Register server means register the connection database. What is the connection name? You can keep Windows DB or prod DB, something like this. Prod DB. Okay. Go to the connection tab. What is the host name? Local host. What is the port number? Same. Yes. Which database you want to configure? Postgres database. Which user? Postgres user. What is the password? It's a Oracle. Click on save. This is how we are configure the connection. Configure the connection means here it displays server. Servers means it's a connections only. So now this is the connection name. Prod underscore DB is the connection name. If you want to expand, can I expand the connection? Inside the connection there is a database folder. Inside the database folder, can say how many databases are there? 2 databases are there. Template 0, template 1, it's not appear because those are internal purpose. We'll discuss in the database management part. So Postgres HRMS is the 2 database available. HRMS Postgres. You can use Postgres or HRMS. We cannot use template 0, template 1. Those 2 are some internal purpose. We'll discuss in the database management part. Postgres you can use. If you want to use Postgres, you can use. If you want to use template 1, we cannot use template 1. We cannot use template 0. We cannot store the business data. Those 2 databases which you can use, internally some store metadata. So now I want to connect Postgres database. How to connect? Expand the connections, expand the database folder. I can see how many databases are there. Which database you want to connect? Postgres. I want to connect Postgres. Right click on the Postgres database. Click on query tool. Now I establish the connection. I connected a Postgres database. You can see here Postgres username, database name, connection name. I established it to Postgres database with the Postgres user. Now you can run any queries. So if you want to see how many schemas, yes, expand the database, there is a schemas folder is there. So how many schemas? Each database there is a default schema public. Each database there is a default schema. One schema is existing by default. If you are not specifying the schema while creating any object, those objects go and created inside the public schema. Okay. So inside the schema, there are many objects are there. that objects we know, procedures, sequence, tables. If you create table, the table will be created inside the tables folder. If you create any views, the views will be sit inside views folder. Like this, we can see expand. If any tables, we can see table spaces, login roles, all the default login roles. These all are. If any table default table space, how many default table spaces? Postgres 2. We'll discuss deep each and every topic. As of now, how to connect database via PC admin, how to configure PC admin, how to connect the database via PC admin, how to run the queries. Here you can run it. Suppose here if you want to create database, database name CRMS, like this, whatever. HRMS1. So you can execute. How to execute? This is the execute. Database got created. Create database. We got acknowledgement. Now you can see here refresh database folder. It should be display 3. Yes or no? Like this. If you want to create schema, if you want to create, this is the query editor. Any queries you can run here. You can drop the database. You can create whatever. Any type of queries you can run in the query editor. Suppose, okay, here this is the, if you want to create database, you can give the create statement. Suppose I want to create database in the, you can say, right click database, create database. DB name, HRMS2. Simple, save. Without command, I can create, just right click database, create database. If you want to create schema, right click create schema, click on create schema, schema name, HRMS1. Schema got created inside the database, inside HRMS2. You can see default public is existing. I create a schema. Like this, you can create just right click on the which object you want to create, give the object name. Or if you want to create via command line, you can give the full statement. Create database, create schema like this. Any queries in terms of PC admin?
Yeah, the Postgres
Yeah.
database, can it be used for to store the application data?
Sorry, come again. Can you speak loudly?
No, the Postgres database, right? The default DB which gets created.
Ah.
Does it have any system data like other template 2 databases, right?
Yeah,
Similar.
yes.
Have any,
Postgres template 0, template 1, these three having some system tables. Okay, out of these three, Postgres we can use. If you want to store business data, you can use Postgres. That's why it's appear in the PC admin. Template 0,
Okay.
template 1, those two we cannot use. But why they given means, okay, if you create any new database, that newly created database also needs some metadata tables. Yes or no?
yes.
So those all the tables will be copied from template 1 by default. Backend it's established to connection to the template 1. It's copy all the metadata tables from template 1 to newly created database.
Okay.
We will discuss in deeply database management part.
Yeah, of course, sure. So
Yeah.
in general, mostly they don't store application data in Postgres database, right?
Yeah, that mostly they can maintain own databases, own schemas. Okay,
Okay.
if small project, okay, somewhere I seen Postgres database also they use.
Okay.
It's a very rare cases. It's a best practices. We have to maintain separate database, separate schema.
Separate.
Yeah,
Okay.
any
got it.
database that could be Postgres or Oracle.
Okay. Okay.
Any queries?
So PG admin doesn't show up the template database.
PC admin?
I'm not able to see the template database.
Yeah, that's what those two we cannot use to store the business data. Template 1, template 0. Those two are some internal purpose. That's why it's not appear in the PC admin. We can store the business data inside Postgres if you want to. That's why the Postgres is appear. Okay.
Yeah, while creating, we are in command line database, right? We are creating.
Yes.
At that time also it is using only previous tempo and the previous.
Yeah. Anywhere. Yeah. Yes. It's backend. It's using template 1.
It's not creating, right? It's not creating new temp like for this database. It's not creating for new temp for this database.
It's
right?
not creating. Suppose, okay, I am creating this statement. This statement, when I execute backend, it's established the connection to template one database. Whatever the system tables existing template and everything, it's copied to this database. Once copy is done, then only we can get this acknowledgement. Means create database is complete like this.
Okay.
Clear? I hope you clear.
Kind of system databases, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah, in SQL, MS SQL, they can say like system databases.
Yeah. Correct. Any queries? This Windows installation. We completed the first. Okay. So this one GUI method done. Okay.
So while we are installing the Windows, we have one option, right? A stack builder.
Sorry. Come again. Start. Okay.
Oh,
Stack builder.
while
Yeah.
we,
There is no use of stack builder. Okay.
what is the stack builder?
I never used. There is no use. In real time also I never used. In my last 10 years experience.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So that's about GI method. Okay. So I think few guys joined today newly. Okay. So let's this is my course content. Okay. So this is all so installation methods, uninstallation, remote connection, PC admin, cluster configuration, multi-cluster, environment variable, shutdown modes, cluster hierarchy, DB creation, catalog views, schema management, enable logging, control models, parameters, static or dynamic, user management. Okay, there you can create the users and the groups, users roles, how to implement, how to give the read access, read write access, postmaster. So postmaster is the one of the main background process. So okay, so architecture part one, part two. Part one, it gives the process based architecture. Part two give the memory based architecture. What are the memory areas? What is the background process? What is the purpose each and every background process? How to kill the sessions? How to see inactive active sessions? How to kill wall files format means equal to readlog files. Enable archive mechanism. Auto commit table space. How to create table space? What are the default? If you want to create one table, everything it will cover. Backup, logical backup, physical backup. What are the utilities we can use to take the backup? Upgradation. So point in time recovery. Okay. Here also cover here. Okay. Replication. Streaming replication. Please keep on. Okay. So point in time recovery, streaming replication, failover, switchover, everything it will cover. Okay. So this is the my course content. So where I post you can see here when I open this one. Yeah. So you can here you can refer this course content. Okay. PATR, patching, upgradation, switchover, failover, maintenance task, vacuum full, reindex, analyze, PT, PC bouncer, Oracle PC, it's for migration from Oracle to Postgres, PC badger, EDB installation, difference between EDB and Postgres, AWS RDS. These things, this is the course content I'm going to cover during this training. Okay. So for material part, for each and every topic, it's my own material. Okay. So let's talk. So you can see, suppose there is a source code method. Okay. How to install source code method? So for each and every topic, I prepared a notepad files. So you can say Postgres installation source code method. Step 1, checking the prerequisites. What are the prerequisites? There is an input command is there, output is there. So step 2, download the software. Step 3, copy to software to somewhere. Next, untie the software. Next, install the software. Next, add the Postgres user. Set up the password. Next, create the data directory in Linux. Next, creating the cluster initdb. Next, start the cluster services. Verify the cluster services DB is up and running. If it is running, then you can connect the database command line mode. Like this, step 1, step 2, step 3. So without other help, you can go and practice by using these documents. Like this, I prepared. So I completed as of now, okay, almost close to 30 batches. Okay, all are so working some other database platform. So all are 100% satisfied students. Okay, don't worry about course content and how the quality of training. This content, it will, you can support up to 6+7+ years of experience for PostgreSQL database. Okay, so that's about from my side. Okay, tomorrow we'll give the last demo, not demo, it's a regular class only. So day after tomorrow onwards, link will be changing. Okay, so who are interested to